So we first heard about the ZipBooks program, it must have been 8 months ago, or kind of whenever it was first rolled out in Riverside, through my son. Actually, we have a 10-year-old son, little Chris, and apparently he had learned about the ZipBooks program during one of their visits to the library, and he basically told me what it was all about. And he did something on the computer, and then a couple days later he was checking for a delivery to the door, and I was wondering, what's the delivery? He said, oh, it's a book that's coming, and it's from the library. And he kind of told me a little bit about it, that if the library doesn't have a book that he wants in their catalog, you can order it and it gets delivered right to you, and then once you're done, then it goes into the library catalog. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think the ZipBooks program particularly impacts our local library and community because it diversifies the catalog, right? I understand that libraries have different people who make the orders of books that go in catalogs, and there is a request process in place, but this makes the request process a lot more seamless, I think. So more people might be encouraged and engaged in requesting different book titles, and then that diversifies the catalog and reflects maybe more accurately what the local library community's reading preferences or reading interests are. So my first experience was pretty cool. I oftentimes do searches in our public library system for different books, and sometimes the titles aren't there, maybe if it's a new book or maybe an unpopular book, and it's a little discouraging, but once I found out that my son used this program, I said, oh, wait a minute, I wonder if I could try this. So I looked up, I think the book was called Principles by a guy named Ray Diallo, and I went to my son and I said, hey, Chris, how did you do this thing? And he sat me down and puffed his little chest up and said, first, here's what you do, and they do this. And so it was a pretty seamless process. I went through the process of putting in the ISBN and getting it shipped to me, and didn't have any problems. Got the book, read it for, I had it for about 3 weeks, and then turned it back in. So it was a pretty neat experience to feel like you get to contribute to your library's catalog. So yeah, it was nice. I personally will be more eager to use it because in the past there have been several titles that didn't maybe show up in the public library, like the city's library system, but maybe it shows up in the county library system. And if it doesn't show up in the county, maybe the city. And then sometimes I'll utilize, we're surrounded by 3 colleges and universities, and so I have access to a couple of those. And sometimes I'll find it in one of those libraries, but now I have another option to check through our public library system before I have to go to that option. What I like best about ZipBooks is, again, just this idea that you get to feel like you contribute to your community's library. The titles that are found in the library, the content of what other people may be able to read or might be interested in and just not know that those types of things exist. And then I just like the process is pretty cool too, to know that you're the first one to read a book, before it gets stained or used or whatever. With all the cool library stickers on it, it feels just like your own book for a few weeks. We enjoy reading, we enjoy the library and the services that it offers us. And I often joke that if I was ever stranded and had to start all over again, I would just need 2 things, an ID and a library card, to help me kind of get back on track. Because we believe that there's tons of things that the library has to offer to get one on their feet. I would highly recommend ZipBooks to family and friends. I currently am always advocating for public libraries, and on my social media handles and whoever I talk to, and ZipBooks is just another added value, I think, to continue that message of using your local libraries. It's easy enough for a 10-year-old to use.